It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Hi Chictopians, welcome back. Today we're here with Fashion by Ali. Ali! Some of you might know her from her YouTube channel, Fashion by Ali. We've been watching her for a really long time. Since her Davis days, she was a business student and now she's a businesswoman. She's graduated and we're doing a collaboration with her. Head over to her channel, make sure to watch my collaboration on DIY shorts with her. As you know, Chictopia is actually a business. We are a small company based in San Francisco and we work with a lot of big name clients. So a lot of bloggers ask us, how do you work with big names and how do you maintain those relationships? And we have Ali here because she's been on YouTube for how many years?
Almost 5 to 6 years.
Wow, so you've been in business for a while.
Oh yeah, it's been a while.
So we figured she would have some good input on how to maintain a long-term relationship. After you started your YouTube channel, when did you start your first business collaboration?
So I had a really great opportunity working with 9 West back in 2012. We did a whole collaboration for about a year and we just dedicated a whole second channel to advertising their shoes.
So what is your experience in sort of working with sponsors and what sort of you think it's important in maintaining that relationship and make it a pleasant experience on both sides?
I think just having really strong communication is really important and being really clear on what your goals and objectives are and how to approach that project. Definitely email back and forth. If you're new to them, definitely Skype with them, FaceTime, even try to meet with them in person. I think that really would establish rapport and a really great relationship.
Your first sentence is having really strong communication. Can you define strong?
Being very clear on what their vision is very important because certain advertisers have an image in mind that they want to see on their channel, and being able to bring that message to life is very important.
So as far as a YouTuber goes, you feel like it's your responsibility to understand their vision and ask the right questions.
Definitely.
So what happens after the collaboration goes up?
After I post the video, I will email them with my link and then I will also share all of the video posts and photos across social media like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. And then I'll give them a shout out. And then a really great way to establish a long-term relationship is by constantly, maybe not constantly, but just giving them a shout out even in a non-sponsored video to show that you really like their brand and you want to work with them again. What is your advice for when a relationship is not going well?
Yeah, so that happens.
Right.
I think we really have to think about it from a glass half full perspective. I think a lot of times we're kind of stuck in this situation where, oh my God, it's not going so well. How do we get out of it? So I think we want to ask us, why is it not going well? And then we might want to start looking back at our past email threads, communication or verbal communication to them and said, what triggered that? What did I say to get them to not want to respond to my emails, or what did we say to sort of lose that momentum?
Right.
And definitely try to get a conversation going either in person or over the phone to address any sort of miscommunication that may have happened. What other sort of challenges you've had in working with brands?
One big issue that I've had is definitely not having the right fit, and I feel like if you're not being honest with your viewers and honest to yourself that this product is not working or this brand is not the perfect match for you, you should definitely let them know. And I've made that mistake. And another issue that I've had in the past is piling on too many projects at once and not giving enough time and attention to a certain company that I probably should.
I think it's also really helpful just to let your brand partners know that, hey, just so you know, this month I have a record number of projects. And just let them know that it's not that you don't see the urgency. So in general, I think many of the viewers may already know this, but in general, business etiquette, responding within 24 hours during an email is generally the business etiquette. In today's digital world, a lot of brands you know, they'll email 2 or 3 times throughout the day if they don't hear from you. And most of the times the answers would be like, can I have your mailing address so I can ship it out?
So how do you take a short-term relationship into a long-term relationship?
So I think to take from a short-term relationship to a long-term relationship, you have to start treating the short-term relationship as a long-term relationship. Meaning that you have to really make sure that the other partner feels like they're cared about or cared for, and that you are committed to working with them long term. So I think in that sense, it's similar to a romantic relationship that you want to assume best intent on both sides. And I can say that from a agency perspective, and I can also say that from a client perspective, because we are technically the client to some bloggers, and whenever we work with a blogger, there is never ever an assumption that we're just gonna work with her once and then we don't want to think about her again. Because it takes a lot of effort to get to know a new partner and to discover a new partner and to even get to know a new partner. So once we start that relationship, that conversation, we generally do want to have that be ongoing. And we actually assume that in our partners, the brands that we work with as well. So I think that's one of the key in sort of taking from a short-term relationship to a long-term relationship. Some of the tactics could just really involve some of the things you had mentioned, is a lot of communication in the beginning, taking a lot of time to understand what this partner wants, even if you're not paid at that time. Because oftentimes the conversation stage could be, you know, a few days, a few weeks to understand the project scope, and the partner may ask you to do a proposal that takes, from our perspective, you know, 3 or 4 days. And take the time and do a really good job, because the partner can assume that if you're doing a proposal for free and it's stellar, when they start paying you, it's going to be fantastic. Why do you think long-term relationships are important in business?
Long-term relationships are really important because you want to establish your own brand as well, and you want to be able to work collaboratively. And I think it's really important if you can work with a single brand for a year rather than many different brands throughout the month, because it really shows that you're a loyal person, and your viewers can also see that as well, that you are very transparent with who you like to work with, and it's very clear what your vision is.
I definitely resonate with that perspective, and also just from a business perspective, I think that oftentimes people view brands as like this separate objective entity, whereas the brand is usually just another person. Right. Her name is probably Ellen or Allie, and it's that person is probably a fan of your channel, and she's probably one of your high value fans, in that not only is she a fan, she's so much an advocate that she's actually asking her boss for a budget to work with you. So going back to a little bit of personal relationship, we know you have a boyfriend, and you've been in a relationship with him for how long?
I've been with my boyfriend for about 1.5 years. He's my college sweetheart.
Oh, so sweet. So what are the things that you think that is pertinent in personal relationship from a romantic relationship standpoint that's relevant in a business standpoint as well?
So when you're in a romantic relationship, you get feedback from that other partner, and you should also treat your relationship with your collaborator the same. Being able to ask them, like, hey, why did that relationship not work, or what can I do to improve my next collaboration with another company in the future? You know, ask for feedback and see why it is that maybe it's not working out, or what it is that is working.
Basically assume that the other person has your best interest at heart, and that they want to continue to work with you. And that's essentially what it's like in a long-term romantic relationship. And I've been with my husband for 11 years.
I mean, like, even in a romantic relationship, you don't want to end it in a bad way. You want to end it on a good note. So make sure you figure out why it didn't work. Yeah,
I think that's definitely invaluable advice. Well, thank you so much for your time, Allie.
Go over to my channel and go check out our DIY shorts video. We're going to show you some really easy and simple ways to transform your clothes to more spring appropriate clothes. So that will be linked down below.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye!
Happiness is the